Hello. So this is for the students. If the parents watch, that's fine. But the way that I'm going to talk is for the students. So hello, friends. Today we're going to talk a little bit about multiplying whole numbers by mixed fractions. And I know that you already learned this in school. So this is a review and some examples, okay? So I'm trying to connect here my tablet so you can see everything here. So let me see. Okay. Yes. Right. My apologies for that. Needs to be here. Okay, so hopefully by this point, while I set this up, we know our tables of multiplication, such as 2 times 2, 6 times 4, 8 times 7, and 12 times 11, and some others that 12 times 11, you might not see it as often here in fractions yet, but up till 9, hopefully we know those tables or can calculate it pretty quickly because we're going to use that here. Also multiplying the whole number time a fraction. So let me show that, what I'm saying. Not sure what is happening here, my friends, but I should be almost there. And the example I have here is 3 times 1/2, the one that you will see on the screen very soon. So that is not a whole number multiplied by a mixed fraction. This is something that you should know from before, and the material accumulates. So this is what I'm saying here, what we're going to do today, multiplying whole numbers by mixed fractions, what we need to know. And this one over here, 3 times 1/2, the one that you see in green, we're supposed to know how to do that already. 3 times 1/2, it means that I take 3 halves, right? And I'm adding that 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2. And I will have 3 of those. So that will be 3 halves. That's something that we should have learned from before. So because we learned a lot of this in class already, what we will do today is some examples, just so we can show each other, you can show it to your parents, or you can show yourself that you got this, okay? So I'm going to start with this one, 2 times 1 1/4, okay? And first, and this is not part of your solution, I'm going to show you in pink what I am doing with a model, okay? So 1 1/4, this is 1 unit, all right? Let's say 1 circle, and then 1/4. If I divide that into fourths, okay, so that over there is 1 1/4. If I multiply that by 2, okay, 2 times that, that is the same as this, another one of those, and then 2 of those fourths, right? So this looks over here like 2 1/2. So hopefully that makes some sense. This is what we're trying to do. It's not that you need to draw the model each time, okay? But it should give you an idea of what we're trying to do. Here we have 2 2/4, which is 2 1/2. Now, we're going to go back to our black ink and we're going to solve this. 2 times 1 1/4. 1 1/4 is 1 plus 1/4, okay? So what we are supposed to do here is take 2 times 1, because I am multiplying the whole number by 2, and then I'm going to add 2 times 1/4, okay? So notice that 2 is in these 2 places over here, because I need to multiply that mixed fraction, that 1 1/4, all of it by 2, okay? So this will be 2 plus 2/4, which is the same as 2 1/2, okay? Or 1/2. So again, if I have one whole and 1/4 of that whole, that unit, and I'm multiplying that by 2 in this case, I need to take both sets, the whole unit and the unit that I have a fraction, and I need to multiply both by 2 in this case, okay? And then I add it. So hopefully that example is clear. Not sure. So let me know if you have a question. When I'm recording a video on my own, I don't know if there's a question, so I can change what I'm saying based on the questions from you, from the friends. Okay, so now another example. 3 times 2 and 1/5. So here I am not going to do the models, but here I know that I need to multiply 3 times 2. Sorry about that, I don't know what that is. And then I also need to multiply that 3 by the fraction, 1/5, okay? And then I add those two, 6 plus 3/5, which is just 6 3/5, okay? Put that in a little box, and this one as well, okay? So I need to multiply the whole number by, the whole number, 2 or 3 in this case, by the whole number of my mixed number, okay? And then add the whole number. Let me highlight as I say it. This 3, okay? I need to multiply it by this 2 over here, but then I also need to add the 1/5. Okay, not add the 1/5, but I need to multiply the 1/5 by 3. So the 2 and 1/5, you can see it as a set, and I'm multiplying that by 3. Both pieces of the set need to be multiplied by 3. Okay. All right, now we have another example that's a little bit harder, because now the result will be a little bit different. It's something that you've seen in class as well. We're going to do this the same way, 4 times 2. And then I also want to multiply the 4 by the fraction. Okay, so this is 8 plus 4/4. 4/4 is 1, right? I don't want to leave that as 4/4 because that is 1. All right, so this is 8 plus 1, and that is 9. And that will help us, or this is an introduction, or you already seen this in class, but there are some examples that we will see soon that I might be adding 7 plus 6/4. Okay, and that 6/4, I need to change that. I cannot leave it that way, or I should not leave it that way. Okay, so let's see an example of those where the result, we have to change it, and it will be a whole number plus a fraction. And with that one, we finish. No, we have 2 of these, okay? So here I have 2 and 1/3. And these are a little different, so I'm gonna have a line over here. We took a break from the easier problems, and we're moving on to the problems that are a little bit harder, but still doable for you, okay? So here I say this is 4 times 2. And then I want to multiply the 4 by the other part of the set, which is 1/3. And then we might be tempted, right? I am 37 years old and I am an engineer. And even now, I try to include as many steps as possible, even if I'm doing something like this, just so if I make a mistake, I can come back and fix or find my mistake before I even fix it. So if you feel that you should rush and not include all the steps, my recommendation is that you include as many steps as possible, okay? Here I have 8 plus 4/3. And there I notice the 4/3. That doesn't look right. I don't think Ms. Corbin would want it that way. And I don't think teachers later will want it that way either. So this is 8 plus 1 plus 1/3, okay? Because 3/3 is equal to 1. It's the whole unit, okay? So this is equal to 9 1/3. However, a common mistake, I'm going to write this in another color. I'm going to do this in purple. This is a common mistake that happens to everyone at least once, okay? Sometimes we forget to add this 8 over here. So instead of doing it that way, sometimes we say, and this is not what we're going to do, but here we say this is 8 plus 4/3. And then we say, well, 4/3, this is 1 1/3. And we leave it like this, okay? Which is wrong, right? Because we forgot the 8. So my recommendation, and I know I've been talking a long time and you want to go do something else, but this is important for the future as well, okay? My recommendation is for you to look at finding your result, either this one or this one, okay? Look at that question Look at your answer and ask yourself, does it make sense? You should ask this forever, now and forever, okay? Ask yourself, does this make sense? This is a little bit longer than I anticipated. Does my answer make sense? Okay, I have up there 4 times 2 and a little bit. Should my answer be 1 1/3? That's too small, so it doesn't make sense. So you can eliminate the wrong answers. 9 1/3, maybe it makes sense. It doesn't mean it's right, but we can eliminate the wrong answers. If I just look at 4 times 2 and 1/3, and then I check my answer 1 1/3, and I'm asking myself because maybe I want to be a doctor, or I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a chef or a singer, and I want to ask myself, does this make sense? What the result that I am getting, does it make sense to me? Okay, it will matter. So this one does not make sense, and it's because we forgot to add the 8. Now we do one more. With that, we finish, and you can go on to what you were doing. And here, same thing. I want to include as many steps as possible. Because why not? Okay. If I want to check a mistake and I skipped a bunch of steps, I can't check it later. Okay. Here I have 14 plus, this is 14 divided by 3. And let's say that I forget the 14, right? And I just change this one and I get 4 2/3. And I say that is my answer. What is going to happen? I'm going to go ahead and look at this one over here. My apologies. I am trying to look for something. And I'm going to say, well, I have 7 times 2 and a little bit more. So I should not be getting 4 as my answer. I should be getting something greater than 14. Okay, so let's see. That means this is not the answer. Not my answer. So let's see. 14 divided by 3. 14/3 is the same thing as 14 divided by 3. This is also 12 divided by 3, or 12/3 plus 2/3, right? And this is 4, because that 12/3, that's the same as 12 divided by 3. Therefore, my final answer is 18 2/3. And again, me, as a 37-and-a-half-year-old engineer, I am not confident that that is 18 2/3. If I just look at 7 2/3, multiplying them, doing it in my head, not checking the steps. No, I have to go and check the steps. So you should as well, okay? Let me write this the way that you write it in your class. Okay, and then the same thing, you ask yourself, does it make sense? Well, 4 doesn't make sense. 18, I am not sure. So I cannot determine using that method that something is right, but I can determine that something is wrong. And the 4 2/3 is definitely wrong, okay? For the next problem I have here, I have something for later, which is multiplying a fraction times a fraction. So you realize that this is not difficult. And so you start losing some fear, and you realize that if you can do this, then you can definitely do what you're doing in your class. So here, I'm not going to write it down, but here I have 1/2 times 2/6. I'm not sure if you can see this or if it's mirrored. So this means that I'm taking 2/6 over here, right? I have a pizza divided into 6 slices. And I only have 2 of those slices, and I want to find half of that, and that will be 1/6. Okay, so when I multiply my fraction, a fraction multiplied by another fraction, I multiply the terms in the numerator, right here, multiply the terms in the denominator, and I get what my model told me. So very different to addition, I do not need to find a common denominator. Okay. So we are moving towards this, but this will probably be in 5th grade. But notice how it's important to be able to do the problems that you're doing now, so you could do some fun problems later as well. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned. And if you have any questions, you can send me an email. Right? Tell your parents to send me an email. Okay? Thank you.